welcome to my YouTube channel MahiNews.Israel. On Sunday said it had recovered the bodies of 6 hostages during an operation in the Gaza Strip. The military said all 6 had been killed shortly before the arrival of Israeli forces. Their recovery sparked calls for mass protests against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, whom many families of hostages and the Israeli public blame for failing to strike a deal with Hamas to end the ongoing war and bring the hostages back alive. Negotiations over such a deal have dragged on for months. Militants took captive 5 of the hostages at a music festival in southern Israel during Hamas's October 7 attack, which triggered the war. The 6th was abducted from the nearby farming community of Be'eri. Netanyahu accused Hamas of scuttling ongoing ceasefire efforts. "Whoever murders hostages doesn't want a deal," he said. Critics in Israel have accused Netanyahu of dragging his feet in ceasefire talks, a charge he denies. The Israeli army said the bodies were recovered from a tunnel in the southern Gaza city of Rafah, around a kilometer from where another hostage was rescued alive last week. According to preliminary information, they were cruelly murdered by Hamas terrorists shortly before we reached them, Rear ADM Daniel Hagari, the Israeli military spokesperson, told reporters. Hamas has offered to release the hostages in return for an end to the war, the withdrawal of Israeli forces, and the release of a large number of Palestinian prisoners, including high-profile militants. Izzat al-Rishk, a senior Hamas official, blamed the hostages' deaths on Israel and the United States, saying they would still be alive if Israel had accepted a ceasefire proposal that Hamas said it had agreed to back in July. Complete halt of the country. Netanyahu has vowed to continue the war until Hamas is eradicated, and says military pressure is needed to bring home the hostages. A forum of hostage families called for a massive protest on Sunday, demanding a complete halt of the country to push for the implementation of a ceasefire and hostage release. A deal for the return of the hostages has been on the table for over 2 months. Were it not for the delays, sabotage and excuses, those whose deaths we learned about this morning would likely still be alive, it said in a statement.